5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sync. Hello and welcome to the TTV BrickFeed Podcast. I'm Jonathan Juan.
I'm Bar.
I'm Eljay.
I'm Ven.
I am your Six Trooper.
And this is BrickFeed episode 62.
Yeah!
How you doing, everybody?
Mardi Gras!
62 is a number.
Hey guys!
Yeah.
This is the show where Lego is the thing, the topic of discussion. And we're going to sit here and talk about Lego for...
Do you like Lego, Var? Do you like putting
indiscernible-
bricks
I love
together?
Mega
Do you
blocks.
like Lego? Do you
I
like
like-
listening to people talk about Lego? You might like this show.
You guys know that Mega Blocks rebranded to Mega Constructs? Isn't that like crazy?
That's
We can't
such old
talk
news.
about other brands. They
No,
don't
we can't.
exist.
We can't. Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Not only can
We're
we not talk
blacklisted.
about that, but that's also like really old news. It's been Mega Constructs for a
I
long
know,
time now.
right? Isn't that crazy? It's been like out there for a while.
Welcome
I went to
the...
a convention. I thought they'd be there. They weren't there. For the past couple times, like they're at Comic-Con and they were there at the last RTX I went, where because they did Halo stuff, and so they were showcasing all the Halo stuff, and they gave away like little what do they call the figures? What does Mega Construct call the things?
Trash.
Not many figures. The garbage figures.
This set
They were
includes
giving
3
them away.
trash.
Get yourself the golden trash limited
I don't
edition.
know if they actually do have a term for them.
They must
I
have.
don't know either.
They can't just call them figures. They
All right,
need to,
well, time to whip out the old
welcome
Google.
to the Mega.
Are they
Mega
mega
Blocks
figures?
podcast? Here we're talking
Maybe.
about all the latest
Mega
news.
figs.
The mega figs?
Mega
I
figs,
just
on.
pulled
really?
that out of thin air. I don't know what they're
Yeah,
called.
it's...
All I know is that
Are they really
they're...
action figures though? Like,
Yeah,
can
they're
they...
like little action
I mean,
figures.
Yeah,
sort
they
of.
can
No,
actually
they-
pose.
they have a little-
lot of articulation, actually.
They
They
do.
Yeah.
do have a lot of articulation. They doubled down on that.
Yeah.
I feel like the minifigure is really iconic, and it was like from their point of view, really smart business move doing the articulation and having like elbows and knees and making them like little tiny constructible.
It's
action
definitely
figure.
the one thing that makes them stand out against Lego.
Yeah, as opposed
for
to
sure.
something. Even though the rest of their sets are, some of them are kind of good, but most of them aren't okay. I looked at
They're
the
getting
Assassin's
better.
Creed set.
They've gotten better.
Yeah,
They have gotten better, definitely
a lot of
since
their
I
sets are okay.
knew
They've
them.
definitely
Like,
gotten
remember,
better over
'cause
time.
We had all like watched Pirates of the Caribbean together, and like the first thing I remember Meso saying was like, "Do they have any Lego sets of these ships?" And I was like, "No, but they do have Mega Block sets of the ship."
But they do.
And they did. And, well, I mean, not the ones we were talking about. Like we were talking about the Black Pearl and the
They do have a Lego Black Pearl.
Flying Dutchman. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm 100%
Oh
sure.
yeah, I'm sure that they do too. Actually,
I was going like at a store because I remember it because it was at retail price somewhere like 1 year after
Yeah,
its
no,
release, and I
Can you link
regret
this?
buying it.
Can you
No,
link?
yeah,
Can
no,
you
they-
prove
they-
this to me?
I
They-
will.
they
like,
have
you
a,
can just Google Lego Black Pearl,
well,
and I think it's there.
The point
Yeah.
what I was trying to make before I was rudely interrupted by X here
I'm
to try and like spew out his Lego knowledge for whatever
Here's
reason.
a picture, by the way, just so that you know I'm
Cool.
completely
Thanks.
correct.
Thanks, X.
Yeah,
Now, how about
no.
how about the Flying Dutchman?
There's no left because Lego they just can't do it. The Flying Dutchman, it's too nice. It's like
Okay, the Flying Dutchman was the one that we were trying to find. But anyway, so on eBay we looked at the Flying Dutchman and they had the Mega Block like version of it, right? And we linked it. And it was just one giant hunk of like plastic with like 4 bricks put on top of it. It was very clearly not made of bricks for the most of it. It was like, man,
yeah, there's like a lot of
this-
specialized parts made for that
yeah,
set.
and it was like pre Mega Blocks having actual good minifigures too. So it was like it was a really ugly set. It was not something I would
I
buy.
think-
Nowadays,
Are you
Mega
sure?
Bloks has like almost too many parts going into their sets. Like especially with the Halo stuff, the vehicles they do. Not that many specialized parts now. Now there's just a lot of different curvy parts and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, X, the
like
shit that
Kirby.
you linked, that is the Flying Dutchman set that we saw.
Yeah,
it was really bad.
It does not.
It's just like one giant.
They used to have
like,
so much
piece.
detail to their stuff. Like it almost looked like Warhammer detail here.
Mm-hmm. Those minifigures, they're like weird, like rip-off Lego ones.
Yeah, that's what I hated the most about that. It was like they were the weird minifig, like back then. You know, they didn't
they
double
had,
down on
like,
their new design or whatever.
These weird textures on them, and molds.
The proportions were just odd too.
Yeah.
Actually, are you?
I actually didn't know about this Lego Black Pearl though.
Yeah, it's amazing. I really regret buying it because you get so many good figures in it as well. I think it's the only set in which you got Davy Jones as well, and his minifigure is, it's very nice looking. So
I must
Did you not
say,
know about
that
the
picture-
Lego Pirates of the Caribbean game, guys?
I don't know about the game. I have it on PSP.
Because that was around the time that this set came out.
Do we know what year that was? I'm trying to think of where I was, like my headspace when this came out.
Probably in your
Bionicle.
Yeah, well, I mean, most likely.
No,
But
there's one you can't mention it, man.
we said the word
It was 2011.
2011.
2011.
No, actually, that was not Bionicle because Bionicle had just ended.
Yeah.
So I was
Fear
probably
Factory.
That was
Just
in
died.
that was in my like it sucked kind of phase though because
Aw, you
did
didn't
get
like
Bionicle,
HF?
so-
You're still in that.
Of course, I didn't like HF. No one liked HF.
Three people
No.
liked HF, and
Let's
two of
let's
them was
be
me and
honest.
Meso.
Nobody really liked Hero Factory except for Mesa.
I will say,
I liked
Meso was
Hero
nobody.
Factory. I liked Mocking.
It had some kind of cool figures
there
throughout
are
its
some
line.
with
but-
cool sets. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Man,
I'm
you
so
just-
Witch Doctor.
tired,
You don't
but
know
there
what
are
you're
some
talking
cool
about.
Sets. Yeah, Witch Doctor was great.
Witch Doctor
I
was a
really
good set.
liked Witch Doctor.
Actually, I think
So this
HF
is the
was-
Lego System
doesn't want-
podcast.
Yeah,
What's
we're
that
not allowed to
second
talk
thing?
about construction, so let's move on.
I'm thinking about the Lego Pirates game, and when it was released, wasn't that point in time where Lego was kind of doing all these licensed games on stuff that was kind of relevant, but not really. Didn't do like a full, it wasn't like one of their long running ones like
they
Star
did
Wars.
Lego Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
and
Fun
stuff,
fact:
too.
I didn't know this. They did 2 Indiana Jones. The Indiana Jones, the original Adventures, and then Indiana Jones 2. The Adventure Continues,
Yeah,
which
that's
is, I
when
guess,
they-
just adapting the
That was
last
at the
movie.
beginning of when it just the reboot creep was just everywhere. Like these
Right,
days.
and then they had Shia, and it was this whole thing.
Shia.
And people,
Shia.
Shia? What's Shia?
Shia.
Sire?
It's a Shia pet, don't you know?
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
a little clay thing that you put a bunch of seeds on and it grows.
I'm like Shia.
Actually,
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
here?
Sia? Sia? What is this?
Shia LaBeouf.
Are you talking about Shia LaBeouf?
TTV
He's talking
Yes.
about Shia LaBeouf.
about
Yes,
weird
because Shia
celebrities.
LaBeouf was in the last Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, okay.
That's what he was
I must
referring
say,
to.
honestly, this Mega Blocks, this picture that Waj posted, they really did a great job capturing Johnny Depp and his face. Look at that
Really?
facial
Is-
expression.
because he
It
looks.
looks.
Oh
the
God.
Davy Jones figure looks terrible.
It looks
Dude,
like a Shia
That's
pet.
It
gross.
looks like a Davy
Jack
Jones minifigure that
Sparrow's
you
face
left outside
looks
for a month.
haunting.
That's
It-
what
it
it
all-
looks like.
It looks like something that I would make in like ceramics class. It's TBH.
Yeah, like you thought that this would be like Davy Jones, and halfway through you're like, nope, this is just like an
Well,
octopus.
yeah, it's like
on a
because I'm
face
trying to
now.
like mold like the tentacles with my hands and stuff, and like plop there, and it's like made of like clay, and it's just kind of, it's just not, it's
Yeah, that is not a good look.
That is really,
Prentice
really bad.
posted a picture of a special looking Pirates of the Caribbean figure right there, and I think
the Jack Sparrow one.
I think it is Jack Sparrow in the fourth movie when like there's like a voodoo doll of him, and that's like the voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Or something.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay. Yeah.
100% sure. Oh, it is.
Interesting.
No, I think you're totally right
I
because
haven't
you can
seen
see
the
the
first,
I,
the
I,
fourth
I
movie.
always wondered where people got that. So it was a pre-order bonus. It was not for the PSP though, because I never got that. But then again, I think
Aw.
that was for the second Pirates of the
Interesting.
Caribbean.
That's what you
game?
get for getting it for PSP.
Yeah.
No,
I
there's
guess.
only one Pirates game, I think.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
there's.
Yeah,
I
it was,
believe
there's
it was
only
a
one Pirates game.
GameStop exclusive. That's nice. That's cool that you have that. I wonder how much that thing is worth because it must be kind of rare. Because I
Yeah, it might be
$1.
like it's one of those things that like no one really thought about getting back in the day. I would assume and it wasn't like in huge quantities, and now it's at the point where like that's what creates something that makes it rare. Is if you have something that people really want way after the fact, but just wasn't really popular at that time, or was just released in a limited quantity.
That happens
Minifigures
with so
in
many
a-
parts.
Minifigures in general seem to have very high market value, regardless of like their rarity. To be honest,
The top
They
10
do.
rarest Lego minifigures.
Well,
check it out.
it really depends on like if there's a licensed name attached to it, because then it has value over time, and if it's attached to an expensive set, like if that's a whole monopoly thing that they have with Legos.
Yeah,
they
'cause,
want
like-
you to buy different sets, and then some sets they make it so that, for example, with The Hobbit, they take the entire like gang in different sets. So that if you want the entire gang, then you need to buy all these different sets. And some of these
Right.
minifigures are only in the most expensive sets. So you're
yeah, and there are a
That's
lot
how-
of people out there that buy like minifigures exclusively.
because
So-
minifigures has been is like a collectible thing now, and it's even
'Cause
bigger with collectible minifigs as well. Like there's people out there that don't or not 100% like never interested in Lego or anything. The only thing they buy is the collectible minifigures and collect the entire series.
I ran across this actually really recently because I've been working on everyone's sig figs, and a while back I was trying to make Envy's, and his face, it was really difficult to find something for him. I don't even think the one I have is that fitting, but I wanted to get the one in the collectible bunny minifigure, the guy in the bunny suit.
Oh, I have him. Is he yet? People
22 to $30 on Bricklink now for that guy in the suit.
The B girl is like $50 to $60 now. Like people love those people that dress up in costumes. What
I
were
mean,
you
even
saying
just
earlier?
on eBay, I was looking at like aftermarket value for some of the sets that I own just to see like how much they're worth on eBay. And a lot of people will buy like used Lego sets sometimes, but I mean, like it's usually obviously less than retail value and everything. It's reduced, and it doesn't seem like many people really care about it. But the minifigures, on the other hand, I find that a lot of people will buy Lego sets and then just resell the minifigures on eBay. And like just from like the Batcave, people were buying that Alfred minifigure for like $4. I'm like, $4? Really? For that minifigure? That's actually like a decent amount of money for that tiny little bit of plastic.
That's actually really cheap.
Right. Well,
I
mean, you think
understand
about,
it's
like,
cheap, but like I'm used to like buying like a Bionicle set, like a Kita or something for that price. It's
That's
like,
fair.
Yeah.
like that's a lot more content for that dollar that I figure you'd be spending on it. But yeah, I just found that intriguing.
I think
Well, it's a supply and demand issue because, like, think about like one minifigure, for instance, I guarantee is going to become a huge thing later on, especially a couple years later. Is going to be the Galador guy from the Lego City set. There's going to be the people that are going to pay up $300 for this set is going to be not as big normally, and then the people like that Galador thing is going to have this notoriety, because it's a reference to an old Lego thing, and it's like this, and it's the only time we're ever going to get. We're not going to get a Galador
I'm not too
shirt
sure.
ever again.
I actually don't think Galador guy is going to be that expensive on the secondhand market.
Are you sure? Like, because he is
Because he's going to be
incredibly
popular,
unique.
or because he's
I
in a really
think-
expensive
I
set?
think Galador guy, there's going to be interest for people like us because, it's kind of a funny joke. We're familiar with that. But Galador, seriously, in the rest of the LEGO community, he is legitimately seen as kind of that black sheep. A little
Well,
bit more than
that's-
Bionicle.
I
That's
saw
why-
a lot of positive, like, oh, hey, it's so cool they reference Galador, and whenever they released like Ninjago City.
See,
I saw a lot
I
of
think
that
the set's going to be or the minifigure is going to be popular just because Galador is a joke to not only construction fans but everybody in Lego. So I think a lot of people would want that minifigure just because it's funny.
I think it's not much about like whether or not Galador is recognizable. It's more the thing that the figure itself is unique, and it's just
Right.
there's not going to be anything like it. Like it has.
We are never
going to
get that.
It. Like,
Possibly.
that's just not
Right. We are never going to get that anywhere else. We're not
Yeah.
I hope
it's
we do,
exclusive
though.
to this set.
Like, you're probably right in this instance, but I really hope we do.
We actually, we were talking about all these minifigures and how some of them, in Lego City specifically, how some of them look really unique and they have this really cool thing going on with them. And then there's some that are actually kind of generic. Like I feel like the police officer is actually not,
Well, that's part of it because they are using incredibly generic,
right?
minifig
No, yeah,
prints that are old.
I understand that. It's just kind of like, there are going to be things in this set that are going to be way more rare than the others. And I do kind of think the Galador is going to be kind of higher up there just because he's in a $300 set. And you need to buy that set. So the supply and the demand of that is going to be pretty high.
Yeah, because the thing with minifigures, I think the thing with like what War said earlier is that why they're more expensive than like just the rest of the parts. It's just the minifigures is like the one. If you're not a customizer, then when you have Lego and you have everything in front of you, you can like do anything with your imaginations. The one thing that you're kind of like secluded to some parts is minifigures itself, because like with parts you can make like a mech and you can make basically exactly how you want that mech, but with minifigure parts and minifigures you're kind of bound to some parts, like what we said with like sig figs. There's only if you want other people to be able to make your sig fig, then you need to use official parts, and there's only so many official parts, as Eljay has been very very aware of, trying to get a sig fig of everyone.
It's not easy trying to make these kind of civilian clothed minifigures of people,
because there's very little, like very
bare minimum of things. Like there are
even like Lego City, they do like
they don't really do civilians and t-shirts, hands down.
Yeah, why doesn't Lego City, like it's called Lego City, but the most of the time it's police and fire departments.
Yeah, because like I guess
like a whole line of just
we mostly
houses?
Get uniforms and stuff, and it's very irritating because I know exactly what you're going through, Eljay.
Well, I was
trying to make sig figs of my own friends, and it's so
this is why
hard.
These Ninjago sets are looking really appealing, introducing
exactly.
a lot of new clothing.
And this is why I'm really like extra frustrated with the Lloyd civilian clothes minifigure, because you cannot use his pants without that jacket.
They kind of ruined it, honestly, in that sense, because the little part that's poking out over his belt, that's a great printed piece with like the black pants and everything, but they've ruined it in the sense that you can't use that without a green shirt ever.
Exactly.
Yeah, some kind of green top.
So frustrating.
Wait. Oh, I was looking at the red guy the entire time.
Nope.
I was
That's
like, what
Kai.
are you guys talking about?
Yeah, Kai. Sorry, Lloyd is a green one. He has a green hoodie.
I don't know, guys. I haven't watched Ninjago much. I'm sorry.
Dude, Kai's
I mean,
hair,
you can't be knowledgeable on everything, X. It's okay.
I try.
Hair can stand up like that.
I do feel like with the minifigures, especially, we did talk about like Mega Bloks, but honestly, Lego's been killing it with their minifigures recently, to the point where there is a lot more design going into them. There's a lot more side printing and leg printing and everything. There's like the thanks, X. I'm glad you're on.
Yeah, I think
it is. They have been making noticeable improvements on their minifigure designs. I feel like every single year for like the last like 5 years, to be honest.
I think
it seems like every year it's like their new set of minifigures just look that much better.
Yeah, in a couple of years they'll have printing in every single inch of that.
Yeah, probably.
Here's honestly something you guys are talking about, the houses and how that kind of, why don't they have a line of Lego City houses? I know they had a creator house thing, and I don't know how well that sold. For me, this is a big deal behind the friend sets. The friend sets, I feel, have some of the best house builds in Lego.
They do.
They are incredible. They are incredibly built. But because I buy them for like, my sister's friends, or like family friends of mine that are, they're like
nice
younger
alibi.
girls and everything. Right, sure, yeah. I'm like, oh, no, I know. I'm like, oh, I'll help you build it, and I get to build it, and I'm like, yeah, it's really all I wanted from this experience.
Do you like the builds of the houses?
I honestly really like the builds. I got I was talking about it last year, but in October, a family friend of ours, she was like, she turned, I think it was like 7 or 8, and so I bought her Olivia's dream house, Olivia's penthouse, maybe. Here, let me look out the actual name.
While you do that, fun fact, speaking of Mega Bloks earlier, you're actually not really supposed to display any Mega Block sets at Brick Fair.
Oh, really? You're not allowed to? I mean, it makes sense, but...
Nope, you're not, because it's a Lego convention, even though they don't...
an actual rule, though.
Yeah,
it is
pretty interesting.
Yep.
And they have to make that distinction.
Has there been, like, huge... Like, I've never seen any Mega Bloks in any pictures.
My thing is, whenever there's a rule, it means someone did it, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
if they're saying don't bring Mega Blocks, I mean someone brought Mega Blocks. My question is, what happened when that person brought Mega Blocks that forced them to make this rule? Because it seems really specific.
That is a really great point.
That's the same thought process I had when I went to IKEA, and then you go to the bathrooms, and then like the toilets are like sealed and stuff, and you're like blah blah blah, not allowed to, and you just know that there was an accident at some point. There was a reason why they had to take those precautions.
No string in the bathroom.
Yeah.
What did somebody do with string?
There was a question in the live studio audience. It was posted earlier, so I'm not sure who posted it, but it was essentially asking about like the Batcave, for instance, and whether it's actually worth like reselling those minifigures on eBay or something, because it didn't seem to bring in a lot of return because it's only $4. But I feel like it's actually a lot of return, because that's only Alfred, who's going to get you $4. But like that set comes with like technically 9 minifigures if you're including the penguins too. So like if you're going out there and you're buying the set specifically to build it and then take it apart, use those pieces for like mocking purposes, you can resell those minifigures and get a decent chunk of your money back. Especially because like the 3 exclusive Batman figures that it comes with, that like that go on the rotating display. I saw like those selling out for like $18-20 each.
Oh, this entire time I was under the impression you were talking about like the classic TV show Adam West Batman Lego set.
I was to be honest.
I'm sure those minifigures are worth even more.
Way more. That's why I was that was actually really cheap, because
that's why I was so impressed about it. Like Alfred from Batcave Break-In getting you $4, because that's not like it's not really a crazy impressive minifigure. It's not really exclusive to anything. You can get it in a lot of sets. So like for that minifigure to be valued at $4, I was like, wow, that's really good. And it wasn't like just one listing I was seeing either. I was looking at like history and sold listings, and a lot of people were willing to put in like $4, $5, $6 just for that minifigure. The little tiny penguin minifigures the set came with were selling for like $9 each, and those are just like literally one piece of plastic. They're not even a minifigure. So I was really like blown away by that. You could go out there and get pieces for mocking and resell those minifigures and get like a decent chunk of your money back.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's why a lot of these horrible people, what they'll do is they'll go to a store, they'll find a set, they'll break it open.
Oh yeah,
that minifigures. Okay.
Yeah, that's really
this is
interesting.
A thing that
I know I've said this before, but because
this happened to me last year. Yeah, actually, exactly a year ago.
Well,
this happened last year.
They didn't just take the minifigures last year. They took valuable pieces too.
Yeah, they took parts.
Who? Is there like a special group of people that do this regularly?
Yeah, there are people that go out. What they do is they'll buy sets, and then they'll open it up. They'll like sneakily take out minifigures and pieces, and then they'll fill the bags with junk pieces that they just have lying around. They'll put that back in the box.
Staple it back together.
Yeah, tape it back together, and then they'll take it back to the store to return it. And because, most stores are stupid, they don't bother actually checking to see if the set's accurate. Even if they do, they're just going to look in and see there's pieces there and be like, that's it.
Even when we went to go return the set that that screwed us over, the lady still didn't check.
They didn't even check it.
We told her, like, oh, yeah, this set came with the wrong part. She's like, oh, okay, sorry about that. Here's your money back.
She just took it. She gave me my money back and didn't bother looking at the set at all. So it's like...
With that said, it's like, how can you actually
well, yeah, that's
I
the
get
thing.
it, right?
That's the thing.
You
It's
need
like,
to be well versed with the set in order to verify something like that.
It's like what if she did open the box and then she's like, I don't know what's supposed to be
that's why it's so
here,
easy.
what isn't.
That's why so many people do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's such a small part of the set. Like, you give the set back and they like shake it. They're like, oh, there's a bunch of parts in there,
You look in the box. You're not gonna like necessarily. And also, the minifigures don't come pre-assembled. So if you were to make sure, you'd have to carefully look for every single pants figure, or like anything. And honestly, what people could do, they didn't even go to the extent for this one, but they could just put in junk minifigure parts, and then someone would just pull it out and be like, yeah, that black, I'm pretty sure that's Batman, so I'm gonna put that back in.
Yeah,
and it happened while we were at Brick Fair, which makes a lot of sense because there's plenty of knowledgeable Lego fans around who have been able to pull that off.
A lot
without
of
any
Lego
problem.
vendors.
Yeah, a lot of vendors in that location looking
Wink, wink.
for easy money to make. So,
Yeah,
Right. I mean, we're not like accusing anybody or anything. It's just kind of like it made sense that would be the time.
No,
that
it was
we
definitely
got this
that one
wrong,
guy
the deal.
next to the wall. Off in
I'm
the
accusing
corner.
people.
Oh yeah, I
the
know, right?
wall guy. It's always the wall.
Dude,
Yeah.
Wall Guy was the
I know.
sketchiest person ever.
Dude, I actually was kind of creeped out by Wall Guy.
Why
He,
don't they
like,
just call him the sketch guy? Dude?
Yeah, he
Why
had
the
like
wall?
this mustache. He had a mustache on his chin. And I don't mean a beard. I mean, it was a full mustache. It like had curls and everything. It was on his chin.
Yeah, but did he have like a regular mustache as well, or was it just on his?
he had 2 mustaches.
he was going devil. That's why he was so creepy.
Yeah, and
When I
that
say
goatee
sketch,
on
I
his
actually made a
forehead.
sketch. I made a sketch of him. That's how weird he was.
Yeah, I am pretty
That's what
sure
his
it was
sketch
Wall Guy that went over to that Toys R Us and
Absolutely.
bought that Destiny's Bounty.
That's why the lady was probably so distracted looking at his mustache. She was like, "What parts? Who cares about these parts? What's going on in your face?" And he was like, "Ma'am, I just need
Oh
to
yeah,
return
he
this."
pulls everything with a sleight of hand.
Exactly.
Because everyone's too busy looking at his mustache.
Maybe he did
had
that
a
at spite
conversation about
because
it.
he knows because of his weird face he'll never get an accurate sig fig. So this is his way of like lashing out against the world.
Against the community.
Maybe,
right,
yeah.
right,
He
right.
just goes around with sleight of hand pro and quick
He had a
scopes
tough
with his
childhood.
intervention.
Like kids would make fun of him because he could only grow facial hair.
I think we can all
On
agree
his
that we
chin.
hate Wall Guy. Wall Guy is
Wall
the
guy,
worst.
Wall guy
just
is the
universally
reason- yeah.
hated. TTV
Yeah.
stands for
I really
hating Wall
hope
guy.
there's not someone that matches his description of BrickFeed.
Wall
Can you
Guy is
imagine?
not a
We
real
go to-
person.
we go to Brick Fair and someone's cosplaying as Wall Guy. They got like a fake mustache on the chin.
Someone in our live studio audience,
name.
someone in the live studio audience who's asked who's Wall Guy, and it's this guy that has 2 mustaches. He is incredibly.
We were just talking about him.
yeah, it's
Yeah, where have you been? Come on now.
It's Wall Guy. Everyone knows
Wall
Wall
Guy.
yeah,
Guy.
it's Wall Guy.
Yeah.
You don't know Wall,
Wall
Guy?
Guy is notorious for
gosh.
going to every single convention and just messing things up. So Wall Guy was the guy that brought the Mega Blocks to the first Brick Fair.
That's it.
Oh,
He totally
I knew it.
was.
He
That's
looks
why-
like a Mega
That
Bloks
totally explains
kinda
it. That's why
guy.
they're like, there's a sign that says no no Mega Block sets, and then the sign next to it that says
I saw
no
like
weird
a little
facial hair.
twinkle in his eye when I like uttered the words Mega Blocks by accident while we were there. I said Mega Blocks, and he's like, oh.
Was you like accidentally cursing? And you're like, oh, I didn't. Sorry, Mom, I didn't. I didn't mean to
His
say Mega
mother's
Blocks
right
here.
there.
I didn't mean to say Mega
She also
Bloks.
has a mustache.
What?
Just for the record,
On
because
her
I haven't
chin.
pulled up before we get too far away from it.
Sure.
The set I got was Livy's Pop Star House.
Libby's
And that was
Popstar House.
That was like it's kind of like a dollhouse. I just thought that it had a really cool kitchen. It had all these little like minifigure.
Wait, did you say
or-
Livy or Olivia?
Livy? The
Livy.
set is specifically called Livy's Pop Star House. That's why I
Okay.
didn't find it earlier.
Just hearing about this makes me livy.
That's great. Thank you.
I'm real
you very
happy
much.
for you,
Stellar.
and I would let you finish,
Before-
but shut up.
But I mean, the Friends sets, if they weren't the Friends dolls, they were minifigures, they would be perfect for what we're looking for, which is civilian clothing, because they all come. It's mostly girls' clothing, but there's there's a couple
perfect.
guys there too, and they would be like they'd be
Yeah.
just
Just
like
our
normal
style.
shirts and like.
I mean, we
pants
could
and
use
stuff.
more girl clothing. Would
Yeah.
be nice.
You really could.
I mean,
Or
Bar,
less.
you
The-
work
Dude,
a
I
skirt
love
like crazy.
Girl clothing.
Oh, I'm just talking about for minifigure like purposes. Why are you guys making this weird?
Oh.
I don't know. Let's not.
That is a really cool looking set though.
Dude, that set looks
Dude,
great.
that's like some
Yeah.
Paradisa, but just modern. It looks so great, dude.
It's a very
I
nice
really,
looking set.
I really love this whole like.
Hey, watch your language.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you're
No,
channeling
you
your inner
didn't.
wall guy, dude.
You
Come
see,
on now.
no, Ven, you can't do that to him. He actually doesn't know because he
Yeah.
can say some things
I don't know.
that are really bad in our language, but is fine over where he's at. You can't do that to
Well,
him.
he
X
needs
is-
to get on our
it's
level.
okay, X. You're
Just
okay.
kidding.
You're fine.
Thanks. I'm completely confused, but I'm just gonna
Exactly.
Let it go.
Yeah,
It's
you can't do that to him,
Yeah.
Ben.
You
too
can feel
fragile.
really easily, guys.
I do
Yeah.
feel.
Oh, yeah, I know.
do feel
It's
with the
okay,
friends. I do.
Hey X, how are you today?
I'm really tired. There's a lot
Hey,
of.
be careful, buddy.
No, stop it.
What are you doing?
All right.
Let's get back to the Lego.
let's get back on topic.
I like the
But-
friend sets, but I do feel like
there he is.
you have to.
There he is. Someone just
Oh
Oh
posted
my
a picture of Wall
gosh!
Guy.
Someone
looks
just
like
posted a
Takuma.
picture of Wall Guy.
Wow, he looks like Takuma.
It's Takuma, dude.
Takuma's Wall Guy.
Takuma has a
To be
twin
fair,
brother. That's Wall Guy.
Takuma said we never actually saw Takuma last year. He said didn't go, but what if he was Wall Guy the entire time?
Yeah, he was Wall Guy.
I just
Oh,
went with
man.
the twin brother conclusion, just because.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Right.
He has an evil twin brother. That makes sense.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that makes sense because Takuma
Everybody has
is.
their
Right.
own evil twin
That's
brother.
like I mean look how similar their names are, Takuma and Wall Guy.
Yeah,
It's
It
just-
just
exactly.
rolls off
Dude.
the tongue.
Their
you know?
parents,
right?
their parents were just totally like Takuma
They
and
both
Wall
had
Guy.
3 syllables. Yeah, Takuma. Wall
Wait,
Guy.
no. The Wall Guy.
All right.
Takuma. Batman. It's all the
Oh,
same,
boy.
man.
Wall Guy.
That's
Is Takuma backwards Wall Guy?
You cracked the code.
you like
I
put his name in a
can't
record
read.
player, you play it backwards.
No,
it's Wall Guy.
you're right. It's like an anagram. It's like the whole Voldemort twist. He like
Yeah,
he
exactly.
he has his name. He twists it around. Is like I am Wall Guy.
He's like Takuma Nuva, and he waves his wand. Is like I am the Wall Guy.
I am the Wall Guy.
I
Bow
am 3
before me.
syllables.
Wall Guy.
All right. Wow, that was
All
fun.
right.
we-
Well,
we-
hey, listen.
We don't have a lot of news. Just
Yeah, listen. We don't have a lot of news, but we should probably get into the news docket.
Just
Does anyone
yeah,
else
let's
have
do
anything
it.
to say about the minifigures thing? Or
I wanted
just-
like the one thing I was gonna say about the minifigures.
Go for it.
I was incredibly excited to say it, but then I just didn't say it, and it was really weird. But like what the thing with minifigures and like people snatching it from bags. A really fun fact. I've told this like probably 3 times before, just because
Tell it again?
I say useless trivia, but they used to have all the minifigures in the first pack of like Star Wars sets, etc. But the reason why they have minifigures in like they spread them out in different bags now is so that people can't just like open up the set and snatch the one bag with all the minifigures. So it's a cool fact. Here you go.
Makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I always just kind of thought it was
So
to,
Lego
like-
knows about it.
I was just kind of thought it was to like keep you interested in building your set and like
Yeah,
give
me
you a
too.
Yeah,
reward
it
with
is
each
kinda-
step.
I was
So it's
I
like-
was-
You start the first step and you get a nice little minifigure with it. You start your second step and you get another minifigure with it.
It's
So
like,
it's
oh,
like a
you-
way to pace the building.
You're building the
process.
wings now, but you also get Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, let's go.
Exactly.
It kind of worked. Like I didn't actually think about it until like someone like mentioned it. I don't.
Yeah, no.
I need
Yeah,
to
I
find a
noticed
Makes
source
that they
on
started
actually.
doing that recently
yeah.
too. It was never always like that.
No, you used to get. I remember like early on when I was, building Lego as a kid. You got them all in one bag.
Yeah.
You did the
I would
minifigure
I would
bag.
always go for that one bag. Just
Same,
To build the
I wanna have all the
minifigures
characters
and
first.
Do the rest
Yeah,
later.
you have them on the side looking at you build their like vehicle thing. You know.
Now I guess I'm weird. I actually because I guess I just really like to follow the instructions, so I actually do wait until I get
Same.
to the next bag.
I do the same thing. I don't like opening all my bags at once.
I used to do that.
There are people who do that.
I used to.
did used to as a kid. Yeah, no, I'm with
But
LJ.
they're
I did that as a
numbered.
kid.
Well,
You're
yeah, of course.
cheating.
But when you're young, you couldn't care less. You
Yeah, you
want the
didn't really
challenge
care.
of
I
trying to
care.
sift
yeah,
through them.
I know I didn't care when I was.
I
younger.
could count.
I would like open them all and keep them separated. So like bag 1, I would
Yeah, it was
open
over
and put
here.
in one
Right.
corner.
I would open all the
bag
bags
2 would go in a
first.
different corner. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always saw like that like little like picture in the front of the instruction booklet that's like organize your parts after you open them, and I'm like, I'm not doing that, and I just dumped them all out and built whatever I was building. So
I remember when I was really young and really stupid, I used to build my sets on carpet, and that was the worst. Because I had a pretty,
Hi,
I had a
welcome to
pretty
my
like dense
world.
carpet, right? And then like I'd lose like the little like 1x1 stud, and I'd be like
Yeah, you
pulling
can't
through
do
my
that.
Oh,
carpet for
you're
it.
talking about like the tall grass carpet.
The tall like grass. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like
you can't do that.
I don't know how. I mean, like I don't know how tall it actually was, but as a kid, those Lego pieces are gone. You have to like
That's
run
the
your
kind of
fingers
carpet
up and
where you
down.
run into wild Pokemon and stuff.
And
You run into the
balls.
Bionicle Pokemon.
Yeah, you run into the wall guy. Just like I
Yeah, wall
challenge
guy
you.
catching the Bionicle.
Right, exactly.
Wall
No,
guy.
he has,
Gotta
he has
catch
the mega.
'em all.
He gets the mega
Wall
block.
guy.
You know, Pokemon. He like throws it at you. These are combing through for the actual
great.
part you need. But yeah, no, it's a cool piece of trivia, X.
Thank you. I
You
pride
ever have
myself
those days
in
where
my-
someone like goes over the carpet with the vacuum and you just get a heart attack like the whole time because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, what if I left some parts in there?
Yeah, and then you're just thinking about all like the Pidgeys that just get sucked up in there.
Right. Well, before we get into the news, I want to say real quick that the TTV BrickFeed Podcast is brought to you by our Patreon at patreon.com/TTV channel. And the Patreon's where you can go to kind of support our stuff. You can get access to our Discord server where we do these live recordings. You can listen in as part of our live studio audience, comment, be a part of the show when it comes to, both BrickFeed and TTV Talks, and hopefully some of the other shows down the line. And we also do some cool stuff. We'll hang out for after shows. Sometimes we'll do like game nights or extra recordings. We'll just come on and do some stuff here. So all of our shows, all of our podcasts are recorded in the sponsor chat. And if you kind of, you guys want to sit in and listen to that ahead of time, you can totally do it by going to patreon.com/the TTV channel. That's THETTV channel. And let's get on to the news. Okay, so it's a slow news week. Not going to lie. There's not a lot of like huge stuff going on. In fact, actually, it's funny. Brick said after we came up with an article that was like, "Hey, so we're gonna do some of these articles because there's not any more news coming up for a good time." So that's how dry it is.
Even Brick set. Then
Even Brick says like,
then you know it's dry.
Then now you're digging that bottom.
It's
of that.
really irritating too because it had to have been this way like 10 years ago. Because I've been doing this thing on Twitter where I've been like, this day in Bionicle history. There's absolutely nothing to talk about this year.
Yeah,
this month 10 years ago in 2007.
I mean, like, there's a good point in
Is
time
today like
where
the most boring day in history or something?
there is a most boring day in history, but I think it's in
I
April.
know, that's why I'm asking.
I
It
think
is
it's in
summer,
April,
though.
like 1970 something.
I think it's because we're in between waves, right? There's not really anything new
it-
information
Yeah,
coming
like
out.
exactly.
like I said, all
Lego
the
comes
sets
in waves,
are out.
and we kind of have to like go around that. We
Yeah.
just did. It's funny. There's a set come out wave, and then there's a set announce wave, and there's a lull in between those two waves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're in
yeah,
that,
yeah,
we're in
there's-
that lull.
there's a
We are
point-
definitely in that lull.
There's a point between like when we know all the sets are coming and we got all the pictures and all marketing of when they're coming, and we're actually waiting for the sets to come. And so there's just
Yeah.
nothing we can do in between there because we've already covered and talked about the sets to death from what we've seen, and we don't have the sets ourselves, so we can't really reflect
Right.
too much on it. So yeah.
Let's hear this news.
So- Okay, so the first thing on the news is Lego's print ads. They actually did this whole advertising campaign that was kind of like a build the future kind of thing. I'm gonna link this article to you guys about like they did a little behind the scenes interview about that. But I remember I linked this. I saw this on Twitter and I linked it to you guys, and we were all like, as people who did
Oh,
graphic
those ads
design
are
and
so
we did that on the
good.
channel. These are
yeah,
these are
we all
really
thought
good
these
ads.
were really cool.
They're very
essentially
artsy.
For those who aren't like actually able to see the images on the screen right now, it's just like it's essentially a kid inside this giant adult-sized Lego figure that's built, and the tagline is to build the future. So they're enabling
Right.
kids to do what they want to do.
So yeah, it's like all different job career choices that they could be building towards. So like the first one, for instance, has like this little kid inside of this spaceman sculpture.
Astronaut,
Yeah. And there's a guitar player and then a fireman. These
It's-
are really, really cool.
They're
I
cool,
really
but
like
it's
these.
a bit confusing with the message because is it like, hey, if you build Lego enough, you become a fireman? Like,
No.
that is okay.
I mean, kind of.
I'm confused. Like,
To me, the message is use Lego to be creative and be like enthusiastic about something and build in your free time, because like it's sort of like it's almost like an educational toy, sort of, because you're
Definitely.
being creative
Yeah,
and
'cause you
building
do,
and using
like,
these.
you think
the-
engineer creative, yeah.
Right, exactly. And I feel like that experience of building with these Lego sets is what's going to contribute to you learning and growing as a person in the future,
Right.
and building up towards your future career, and also to be imaginative as well.
I will
Think
I will
bigger,
admit though,
think better,
I do think I get what X is saying about the last one, because like if you think of astronaut, right, like, you're an engineer or you're an aerospace engineer, you're doing stuff with science and everything. Lego definitely helps you. If a rock star, it's like that creativity thing. If you start your kids doing creative stuff, they will go on to do whatever they really want to do. The fireman is not necessarily always seen as a creative like career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where
I mean,
it's not
I think I think part of the message is like just to be, like
to build, and you will become, what, like an adult.
No, I mean,
essentially,
like,
or
it's sort of like be imaginative about where you see it. Like you always ask kids what you want to be when you're grown up, right? And they always come up with something like kind of like ambitious or like fun, like simple. Like I want to be a spaceman, I want to be a firefighter. These sound cool, but it's sort of playing into that. It's just like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, build it. Be creative. Think like what you want to do, and just it's like imagining that you're Superman, except in this instance you're not Superman. You're a firefighter.
They did chose, like it says here in the article, they choose like the dream careers that they felt, or the fields they felt that kids really wanted to get into, which was like science, the arts, and social services, and that's where the firefighter comes in.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You're helping people. So no, that makes a lot of sense for the ad campaign. But I remember I saw those like just popping up, and they're just so well designed. They did a lot of really great, like you see that, you immediately get the concept. You don't need to have any text to build the feature tagline. You don't even need that. Anyone that sees them automatically knows what they're doing.
You don't need to read anything.
Yeah, exactly. I love advertising like that, where it's like you watch that and you're like, I immediately get what you're saying. I don't even need to read it in a language to get it.
Yeah,
the feelings.
It's good universal advertising. It's something that they can put in literally every country around the world, and everybody will get it. Mm-hmm. So,
and they went pretty well fit.
Yeah, I think it's really well done. The colors are really nice, saturation's really nice, the composition's really, really good. So these are really great advertisements, I feel.
It won 3 awards. It won 3 Silver Lions and 1 Bronze Lion at the Cannes Festival, which is essentially the big advertising festival, where they will award different things in advertising. What they did.
LEGO's always had really good advertisements.
I wish it was me that made this advertisement. To be honest, this is just like
I know, right?
Really cool, like just thing I could have put on like my portfolio or something.
It is very artsy. Like it
there's
looks
a marked
really
thing
nice.
for me. Yeah, where I'm like, there's some things I'm like, that's cool. There's certain things where I'm like, I wish I made that. And that's like the highest like kind of praise I can give to something, where I'm like, I see something, I'm like, I wish I made that, so I could say I made something that good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about them. So.
Yeah. I didn't
Very
have
cool.
anything to say. LJX.
What did you say?
No, they're good
You guys have anything to
advertisements.
say on it?
No, I am good, but thank you for asking.
Did you say my name, X?
Yeah, Lars. Did you see what our live studio audience posted?
Is that the Maori word for wall guys? Bionicle references.
Oh, that's great.
Anyway.
But yeah,
Okay.
next one. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You can go ahead if you
No.
want.
There was nothing. I was literally
What's
just
our
saying,
next news
go on,
docket?
John.
You're doing a transition thing? Awesome. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. So the next thing we're going to talk about is this news story where a mother is arrested for leaving her 10-year-old alone in the LEGO store while she's shocked.
Wait, what?
So,
Wow.
yeah, this happened in New York. Ontario County Sheriff's Office said that
a lot of
44-year-old
parents
mother-
do this. I don't know why, but a lot of parents do this.
I went to town alone at 10 years old and went to the LEGO store and just was around there. Like, what's the what's the issue?
Okay,
Americans are a little.
Americans are a little weird. We do have like this whole thing of kidnapping, where it's like everyone's really nervous about
Yeah,
it.
I've
and,
seen the
that is a
pranks
thing.
on YouTube, man.
Right. And additionally, LEGO has this policy. Well, I mean, to be fair, too, they're a store. They're not like a daycare. You don't go to the LEGO store and
that's
drop
my
your
thing
kid off.
Yeah,
that's
but
my thing about it.
You don't like the Legos in the sets. Like they can't. I don't understand.
No.
They can just.
It's not that
Well,
they're
you can
worried that the
build
kid's going
things
to
in
do
LEGO
anything.
stores. Like they have these little boxes of LEGO that you can just build with.
Really?
Yeah.
He's right.
Yeah.
They do have that. Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They have
have a
actual
build your
Lego
own
that you can
minifigure.
build in a LEGO store.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Have you
so
not been
good
to a LEGO store?
advertising.
Come on, man.
I've never experienced that. I've any Lego store except
Guess
for
you're
like the
gonna
Lego brand
this year,
stores
huh?
that have been in other countries. They're all in the boxes.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So what
That's-
you're saying is you are really boring.
America's
you
awesome,
know,
I guess.
Now I'm thinking about it. It was the same thing when I went overseas for bookstores. You know how they have like books mostly unwrapped in bookstores on Barnes & Noble here? They're
Yeah.
all wrapped in plastic. You cannot unwrap any of the books in a bookstore.
Huh.
So that is when I went to Malaysia, that's what happened.
Huh.
And so I don't know if that carries in Europe too, but
But
I found that really interesting.
so the Legos just freely like on a table or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just on the table.
But you can just take the bricks then, like super easily.
I mean, you
can, I guess.
You'd
That
likely
seems-
get caught.
I mean, they're not like specialty bricks. They're probably mostly like general bricks. You know, they probably don't.
Yeah.
They're like a lot of the leftover stuff. I assume that they keep them there, so it's not like a
Yeah.
deal. There's also they have a build your own minifigure.
I
little
am
thing where you can-
sure there are kids that are in there that do steal parts.
yeah, like I'm
So,
picturing
it's
like there's a
reality.
Lego Star Wars ship there, and like, oh, I'm gonna snatch this Kenobi right here, and nothing can stop me. Like it just.
Oh, no.
What do you
No,
mean?
no, yeah. Listen, these are okay. They do have the glass, they're like sets in glass, and those are like the official license set. These are like general Lego parts, like generic Lego.
Oh, just normal bricks.
Yeah, just
Yeah, and I
normal
was gonna
bricks.
steal that.
and-
It's just you can just get
Right,
a brick
exactly.
like, from
That's-
nothing.
yeah,
I don't know.
that's what we're getting at.
That was really
That-
weird image in my head. I was like,
Yeah,
is
what-
America really that
No, no,
peaceful?
Yeah, that's the point. Is like they're all useless bricks that not a lot of people are going to really want, and it's going to be kids that are going to steal them, and they will likely get caught. If they don't, they're just getting away with some like meh bricks. So anyway,
Yeah, this
in
story.
regards to the news story,
So I can see the logic with all of this being said, all that context. I can see the logic behind leaving one of your children here. As a person, myself, I would never, ever, 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 ever do that.
Oh, I'm glad you clarified that. I wasn't sure if you were a person. So
Yeah, you
now
know.
that I have the perspective. Yeah.
well, I mean,
But-
as a
thought you were a
dog,
toaster.
I don't think that I would ever leave my pups alone in the Lego store.
Yeah, see, thanks, dog.
Good boy.
No,
But like, yeah, totally.
I sort of agree with you, LJ. For me, I like. Well, see, it's sort of like a double-edged sword because in one, like, I remember reading an article very similar to this, like maybe a year ago,
Yeah.
maybe 2 years ago, where there was a father that had let their kid like take money, and just like walk all the way to the Lego store to buy his own sets and then come back home. And I think the store. Now I'm paraphrasing this from memory, so I don't quite know exactly the exact details, but I think the store wouldn't allow him to purchase any Lego sets because. Like, he was just an unaccompanied minor.
I remember this, yeah.
The big controversy was that it was his own money and that he should have been allowed to buy the sets because the father gave him the money to buy the sets. But they wouldn't sell it to him because, minor.
Found
What was that?
It's this article. I just linked it. 10,
Yeah, there it
11-year-old Calgary boy detained
Yeah,
by
that's
Lego
it.
store for security for shopping alone. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, 2015. That was 2 years ago. Cool.
Nice job, Var.
Man, my
Interesting.
memory's great. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, it's interesting that people actually do get arrested for that because, like, I didn't realize
it was an
She going to
arrestable
jail
offense.
for that?
that it was that strongly enforced because
Yeah.
I work at a mall. I see that all the time. There's always kids going into my GameStop just coming in and out with or without their parents.
Yeah, exactly. I see it too. I don't even work at these stores, so it's for me.
I did that when I was a kid. When I was like, my mom would go to the mall.
I
So like,
did
we're
that
going
too,
to
actually,
Route
yeah.
21, and I'm like, I'm 11 years old. I'm like, can I just go to
yeah,
GameStop?
Same.
And I'd be like, she's like, I'm gonna shop in Old Navy for like 2 hours.
It was funny.
And I'm like,
there was
well,
a
I'm just
point
gonna
in
go play the
time
games.
where there were 2 GameStops at my mall when I was a kid.
2?
Yeah, I know, right? There were 2 GameStops in the mall.
Wow.
And then there's a Forever 21 in between. So I'd go to the mall with my mom. She'd go to the Forever 21, and she'd send me off to go to the GameStops. One of them was just right next to Forever 21, so it was like nothing.
So
So yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure if. Let me see. Okay, yeah.
This
so,
kid.
So
This kid is 7. The one we're talking about, the one where the mom was arrested. That kid is 7. This
Okay.
one's
This one was
kid
11. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think those ages make a big difference. To be honest,
Yeah.
when it comes to how
100%.
you should treat your kid and how free they should be. In this instance, it says the policy for the Lego store is that you have to, if you're 12 and under, you need to be accompanied by an adult. Which I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. But I don't know. On the article from 2015, I can kind of get behind the father because the kid's 11. He's independent. He's pretty self-sufficient. Like, I would be like, okay, be safe, be careful, don't talk to strangers. But sure, you can go out and buy your Lego set and come right back. And if I don't hear from you in like a certain amount of time, I'm gonna get really worried and call the cops, that kind of thing, right?
Right.
With a 7-year-old, I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
right.
I would leave a 7-year-old unaccompanied in a Lego store.
I know a 7-year-old. I know how like that. When I remember being 7, I thought I looked pretty old I'm a big kid when I was 7, but 7 is really young.
Yeah,
And
You don't
some
say.
7-year-old you could mistake for like being 6 or 5 too. Like it depends on how old the kid looks. But it's very clear when it's a 7-year-old that this kid is unaccompanied and he's not like here to buy something and come out. He is, doing this whole thing.
Right.
His mom just left him.
Yeah, and my other thing, it's like it was I forget who mentioned it, but it was like the Lego store's not a daycare, right? And that's my thing. That's the big thing that I think of when I think about this story. It's like it always bothered me whenever like parents would leave their kids in GameStops and just ditch and bail, and like that kid would be in that GameStop for like an hour or longer. I've seen that happen where like there are kids who've just been left behind in GameStops for like extended periods of time, and that's just like it's extremely irresponsible as a parent and an adult to do that. And like it shouldn't be up to the store to keep an eye on this kid and make sure that he's safe.
Yeah, really. It's not. We're not a daycare.
Exactly.
Right. I totally get that, because if anything happens, I've known this too. Parents will come to the store and be like, "What happened to my kid?"
Exactly.
Why won't you watch my
You
kid?
just
And you're like,
know they're
"That's
gonna blame the
not
store."
my job. I am supposed to keep this thing. I'm sorry. I'm not paid to watch your kid. You shouldn't leave your kid with me. I 100% get that.
Yeah. That's the strongest feeling I have towards it. It's like, okay,
Right.
let's maybe not leave our 7-year-olds in stores by themselves. It's not a great idea.
That's just irresponsible.
Yeah.
And granted, it's less irresponsible a little bit. 7-year-olds, it's still irresponsible. If like, even if you're 10 or 11, the prevalence of cell phones has made things a little easier.
Yeah.
Where like
To a degree, there's a limit there. I feel
Right,
like,
but, like-
even still, you should still have at least a line of sight. Like, oh, I'm just gonna glance over there and like, oh, no, there's a little
Yeah,
way.
one of the parents I know has said they've reached this conclusion, because when I was a kid, I always wanted to go out biking, and like with my friends, and my parents were a little like, oh, if we can't see you, what happens? And so one of the parents I know now with her young kids who are like 10 or 11, what she does is that they have their cell phone, and she says, okay, you have to enable Find Friends so I can see like a GPS location where you are.
Exactly.
And as long as I can kind of see where you are, I'm okay. And if you need to come home, if it's like 8 and it's being dark, I will call you and you have to come straight home. But that's their compromise, and I mean, I think it's perfectly fine in that aspect.
Yeah.
Great King Rat from our live studio audience just posted a really good example of why you shouldn't leave your kid alone.
talked about
This was another story we talked about before.
Yeah, we did.
So, for the audience listening, the live studio audience in our chat linked another article where a kid went to this is an exhibition, I think, in a mall, right?
Yeah. It was like a thing. Some guy had built it, and it was displaying in a mall at the launch. of the movie.
It was a big
Or
Zootopia sculpture. That was worth what, 10,000? Is that euros? Yeah, that's pounds, right?
10,000.
Yeah, that's pounds. 10,000
not
pounds.
USD.
Yeah, 10,000, not USD.
There we go.
Took 3 days to build. Kid touched it, knocked it over, and destroyed it. So
It's $13,000.
Okay. Yeah. So
That's
for starters, I'm
That's
sure
so
that statue
annoying.
had it coming. But
oh yeah,
Yeah, because it's
my
not
gosh.
like because Lego's official like statues, they have like the like metal railing and all that, or not metal railing. They have like a metal skeleton or something, and then every brick is like
Yeah.
individually glued,
Right,
so
right.
that it prevents from this happening. And so
They
this
craggle
guy,
him?
what?
They craggle him?
Yeah, ironically,
How could they do that?
craggle. They do. They do ironically
Disgusting.
craggle. Yeah, it's stick it to the man, upstairs.
it
It is
is interesting for sure. Kids are, and see, the thing is, like every kid's an individual, so it's like they all have different levels of maturity, different levels of responsibility and self-dependence and that kind of thing. So it's hard to like set like a line in the sand, with how you should treat every single kid at any given age. But I do think that there are certain ages that it's less appropriate to leave them alone, and certain ages that are more appropriate. And I think 12, you're good for the most part. 11, I think you're good. 7, I think is just too young. It's too young to have this kid
7's way
walk
too
around the
young.
mall by themselves, and it's
Right.
not the duty of the Lego store to keep track of that kid and watch over them.
Right. I mean, and to be fair too, again, like you're saying, it could have been a really mature kid, and mom thought that, like, really, I can leave him alone. But the Lego store, that's not their responsibility, and I understand why they were concerned that a 7-year-old kid is walking around their store without a parent.
Yeah.
You know?
To be fair, we don't really. The article doesn't really give us any context as far as like how long the kid was there by themselves, because surely the kid was left there for a decent amount of time for them to think, okay, well, their mom clearly just abandoned this kid. We got to call the security now. But I don't know. Maybe the kid was only there for like 5 minutes alone, and they were like, just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
So that matters a little bit too. But even still, let's just not leave your kids in Lego stores. It's not a daycare.
Yeah.
So,
Let's agree not to, like, do that in the future, or any store. When you went to GameStop, I'm sure you're like, yeah, you don't want that to becoming a daycare where all the kids are crowded around the
definitely
thing.
not. That's annoying.
Yeah. Well, all right.
okay.
So, the last bit that I had on this news docket was just a little reminder, I guess, that a while back we talked about these free, like, mini piggy banks sets that are available.
One of them was ice
found.
bear, polar
Oh,
bear.
I remember these. Yeah.
We had a lot of discussions of which one they were. And this is just a PSA that they are available now at shop.lego.com for a purchase of over £50 in the UK, €55 in Europe, and $75 in America.
Ow.
Good grief.
Wow.
$75 in America.
Why so much more in America?
I don't know.
Ow.
Look how much €55 are.
It's not $75.
I know for a fact it's not.
Yeah, so
it's
I would like that
$63.
vintage coaster. Oh yeah, that vintage coaster, that is free with a purchase of $1 million.
It's like one of those like TV infomercial things.
Yeah,
Buy
right.
this
5
now.
payments of $19.99.
Dude, only $19.99. I can do that.
Yeah, no. I mean, the problem is, I kind of do want this. That's what
I don't want to spend
You can
$75
easily bricklink the
though.
pieces. Just saying.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Exactly.
May
I'm
hold
just
off.
saying, like, I would not, like...
Can you bricklink that pink? Those pink pieces?
You can bricklink everything now.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
That's
wouldn't
fair.
get
I'm
the
just like,
pink
I wonder how much
pieces.
a pink costs.
I would never make
Pink is
pig.
pretty much expensive quite a lot because they're very rare pieces. But I guarantee you that it's going to be cheaper to bricklink it. Like I'm just
Yeah.
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 That's
Full
75.
stop. Wait,
Oh,
you're
to be fair,
How
this is not
much is this
selling.
thing?
This is not
It's
selling
free.
for $75.
Yeah,
It's
this
free
set
if
is
you
free.
buy a set or buy sets worth
it's quote unquote
$75.
free. It's like
So
Yeah.
if you bought the Ninjago cave from or not Ninjago cave, Ninjago
Ninjago.
City,
right.
Yeah,
set,
they're throwing this
then
in
you
with
could
it.
that you would get the set for free with it.
they're basically as free as the weapons you get when you buy season pass and Call of Duties. Basically,
Right, exactly.
That's as free as they get.
You
know?
pre-order this new Lego set and you get the free Lego Piggy Bank DLC.
Yeah. The piggy bank deals. Oh boy.
So
But that's
it's,
it. That's just a PSA.
That's really cool. Don't really want to spend $75, so oh well. I do find it kind of ironic that you're spending money to get a piggy bank where you could store your
There
money
is
that
a-
you no longer have.
Where are you gonna put it?
It's like,
that's-
all right, I got.
All right, time to put my money in it. Whoops, spent it all.
Don't have any money. Oh well.
I don't even know what I'd get for $75.
I don't either. I mean, I'm sure there
Lego?
are some sets that I would get.
Well,
yeah.
yeah, obviously, but it's like I'm still waiting
So wait,
on the Ninjago City.
is this a Lego store thing or like what
Lego
store?
shop.
Lego
It's
shop.
shop at
Okay.
home.
So the shop at home. Okay.
Shop at
LJ,
home.
do we know when the Ninjago Lego movie sets are
September.
coming?
September 1st.
Or because like
Wait,
in any Lego
which-
magazine, like a Lego catalog official one, it said that the junior set, the Lego Ninjago movie junior
the
set
wave.
is
The
set
wave is
to-
coming out in August.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh yeah,
Yeah, but
never
the
mind. Never
Ninjago
mind, I'm
City
stupid,
is
I'm
September
stupid.
1st.
Just
But yeah, but also
keep in mind the
real
city
quick.
set is a direct-to-consumer set. It's not really technically part of the wave.
From what
releasing
I was
for
reading here,
retailers.
these some of the piggy banks were on exclusive to the brand retail stores. So the Lego stores that had them exclusive.
Oh, okay.
Last
So
week.
it's a Lego store
So-
exclusive. Okay.
It
Hello.
might be. I haven't seen it myself. This is just a comment I read on the on one of the articles that was talking about it. So you should check your Lego store and see if something's there.
Sure.
Might be.
Yeah.
I think they said I don't know how much it is. Like what, $15 or something?
I don't know. Oh,
We'll see.
so you can buy the set, the piggy bank itself, without having to get the $70.
If you go to
$75.
a brand retail, yeah.
Okay.
From what I'm reading here, you can. I haven't seen official confirmation on anything about that.
Okay. So I don't know if it's
there
worth
you go.
15 cents or 15. Wow,
Yeah.
15 cents, $15.
$15 makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything else cool they want to talk about, real quick?
I do,
Before we wrap up?
actually.
Go for it.
All right, so I have been on Flickr basically the entire time I've been active on the internet, like consciously. I've been on Flickr regularly. It's been my homepage on every internet browser that I've used since 2008. And usually
Really?
on Flickr, if a picture is like 10,000 views, it's pretty big, you know, and 50,000 views, then that is really big for you. And recently there's been this mock that's been circling around and it's just been everywhere. And some people might have actually already seen it, but it's just incredible. And I just we usually don't talk about mocks on this podcast. There's just so much that's built and posted everywhere. So we haven't put so much time into it. But this one, I feel like this is worth a mention. So about those views, this was posted like 2 or 3 days ago, and it has 150,000 views, and it is just it is
Okay, let's see this.
All right.
pretty incredible. The longer you look at this, the more
Okay,
detail.
I just looked at the thumbnail and immediately I'm like, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, just
Oh,
click on that and
man.
then zoom in, because like that build, like it's a normal building, you know. It is not
They have the
spectacular.
guitar on the. Oh man!
But like almost the entire building is like built up by one by 2 or 1 by 1 plates. Like there's so
That's
many parts used.
crazy.
Wow.
That definitely costs a
Look
lot.
at I'm looking at the detail of the floor. There's some bricks that are like raised off to give the impression that the house is falling apart and the floorboards are coming off.
Yeah.
That attention to detail is insane.
Yeah, every single like part of this entire mock is just riddled in so much detail and so many parts.
This looks like it took months to make.
Yeah, like just imagining like those like sets where it's just like, oh no, I need to like put 2 like studs on top of each other, and you're just like, it's very tedious. Like this entire set is basically just made from that.
This is impressive.
It is very impressive, and I really felt like it deserved a mention. It's been everywhere for me, like on my phone. When it's been on Reddit, been on my Flickr. People sent it to me on Discords, Instagram. It's been in my face for the last couple of days, and it's still a beauty for my eyes.
Yeah, wow.
This is really
astounding.
good. Yeah.
Yes,
Dude, now I'm really hyped for Last of Us too.
dude, say
I know, right?
it's come. When does it come out? I actually have no idea. Do we know?
Soon.
I don't think we know.
I don't know.
You know, the more I look at it, the more I kind of think it reminds me of the Ghostbusters house.
Yeah, but
We
just
built that.
It does, yeah, it looks a lot like
Fair. It does like remind me a lot about that.
yeah, just after the apocalypse, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
after it was destroyed. I'm looking at this guy's this Flickr. This is Christoph here. I don't know if he has like an online. Actually, looks like it's Ohms5134.
Yeah,
his
the
online name.
Flickr, it shows like the real name that you put atop
Yeah,
and then your username. It's really weird.
He has got so many awesome builds on this Flickr. I don't even know like where to begin to even start.
How does he have so little followers?
To
on
build
Flickr?
something like this? I don't know, man. System mocking is incredible, and I want to get into it really badly.
Same.
Dude, the Venice that he made is incredible. I haven't actually looked at any of his other mocks. I have just looked at that. I mean, just
My favorite's the cottage too one that he has here on this gallery. I think that's really really cool. The one where like the building's kind of like got like
Oh wow,
an out shape.
it's almost cartoony.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
looks gorgeous. I love the colors. That is
so
amazing.
bright, but still like
It's
so
bright and vivid. I like, you know, honestly, I
Wow.
like that we're kind of
Intense.
coming back to that. We're not being so saturated anymore with the color palette, and like I feel like there's a point in time where every single color palette was saturated in movies and video games and everything. And recently, people started to incorporate more colors back into it. And this is like, I'm just looking at this, how
the Lego
vivid and
palette
lifelike it
has
looks.
increased so by so much over the years as well.
I
we,
love
we
how
have so many new colors now. It's incredible. Like just with the introduction of the Friends line and the Lego Elves line alone, we got so many new colors.
Yeah, definitely. This is awesome.
This is really good. This is really great stuff.
Yeah.
All
So-
right. Well, thanks for showing that
I'm a
to us.
fan.
Alex.
Yeah, just leaving
this
on
guy
a
is
good
so
note.
cool.
This is really awesome.
This is some really great inspiration. I know I want to go mock with some system pieces. So.
I know, we need more
We are
parts.
gonna get like a whole wave of Lego stuff upcoming from Brick Fair and everything. We're just gonna
Yeah.
that's the prime place to buy that kind of thing. So really glad we're able
Oh
to
yeah,
look
I
to
hope
see
you
all this
guys are
stuff.
saving up.
I kind of wish that TTV was kind of like Rooster Teeth, and that they had an office, and then would have like a huge
Just
Lego
like our
city
vault.
in it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, right. We could just display
great.
this whole massive
Yeah.
thing. Have all the in jokes there. That'd be awesome.
We do
Watch out
actually.
for Wall
We
Guy.
should also talk about Brick Fair a little bit before we wrap, because that is coming up, and we haven't made
yeah,
an
it is
official
coming up.
video yet.
It is coming up. You're right. We don't have an official video yet, but real quick, it is happening. I'm going to look up the first weekend of August so I don't mess this up. It's happening August
2nd to the
5th
6th.
and
That's
I was going to say 5th and 6th because I don't think that anyone who is currently going to Brick Fair has not already registered for the pre-days. If you're going to Brick Fair right now, if you're oh, I didn't know about it, you're probably only wanting to go to the public days.
The public days, which are the 5th and the 6th.
The
Yeah.
5th,
Some
and the 6th.
people might be delaying. You don't know.
Yeah. If you do want
sure.
to go to the pre-days, then that is the earlier day. It's going to cost you a bit more. So there's that.
Cost you kind of a lot more actually, but it's a great time. There's a lot of awesome creations. What we're talking about here, some of the stuff, I don't know if this guy specifically will be there, but there's a lot of creations like this at Brick Fair, and it's just there's something about seeing it in person. Last year we went. There's a Lego Vatican that was amazing.
That was really cool. Yeah.
And everyone here is going to be on at the convention, so you'll be able to say hi to us.
Hi.
We have a
literally
whole-
everyone in this recording will be there. So
Everyone in this recording, and of course, Meso is going to be there. Just Envy is going to be there. A bunch of almost everyone in TTV is going to be there this year, and we're all super excited for it. So
Oh, it's gonna be so fun, dude.
it's going to be so fun. Come by, say hi. We will definitely let you guys know what times you'll be there in case you guys happen to be in the area and just want to say hi. We can arrange that, and hopefully you'll check us out.
Please tell me who you are on the internet as well, just so I know which memes.
Yeah.
you like.
Honestly, I mean, one thing that I noticed from last year is that don't be afraid of coming up to say hi, even if you just spot us at a restaurant or something. Because there's definitely there's one time that there's a guy wearing one of our shirts and he was in the restaurant. We were at Chick-fil-A or something, and we were like, oh yeah, we were doing we that eye contact thing. So come up and say hi. Definitely don't be shy about
Yeah,
that.
just be like, yo.
Tell us your username, because sometimes tell us your real name, but tell us your username too.
yeah, that's how we'll recognize you most of the time.
That's how if you don't use your real name on our boards or something, that's how we'll recognize you. You'll be like, oh yeah,
Just come up and be
definitely heard
like,
of you.
yo, it's me, Cat Loaf. What's up?
I recognized KLC last year because he
Yeah.
tweeted at me.
Right.
When I was on my way to Brick Fair, and then he retweeted and he's like, oh, cool, be seeing you there. And I'm like, oh, sweet, dude. And then as soon as I got there, and then everyone's greeting and stuff, and then I was building the Ghostbusters day, he comes up, he's like, yo, I'm KLC. I'm like, oh, dude, hey, what's up, man?
tweet us
Did
if
you
you're going.
buy
Put
the
a message down in the
Ghostbusters?
comments. So just let us know if you're going to be there, because we want to meet
Be a
as
lot
many
of fun.
people as we can. It'll be really
Did you
fun.
buy the Ghostbusters thing then, or
No,
No.
no.
I
you built it, but you didn't buy it?
Yeah, I participated in a group build of the set.
It was
that
hosted by
BZP
BZ
was hosting.
Power.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
It was
Brick Fair.
hosted by BZ Power.
You have to sign up for it, but
Mhm.
Are we gonna do stuff like that at Brick Fair, like build stuff?
I'm
Maybe.
probably not gonna do it again because I think I'm gonna want to spend more time at the vendors this year.
Dude, I'm
I
gonna
didn't
buy
really
so
get too
much
much
brick
from them
arms.
last year.
Oh, dude. Okay. You know what?
Yeah,
you know what I'm
same.
excited for?
I'm getting way more
What are
custom
you
stuff
excited
this
for,
year.
Joe?
I passed up on last year. I passed up on some Lego Overwatch stuff. And
Not doing that again.
A
This
cleanse
year.
graphics.
this year I am gonna get Lego Overwatch minifigures. I'm just
Dude, you need
I was
to
invested
buy
in the game last
Mercy.
year, but I know
Dude,
there's a
Eclipse
Mercy there.
Graphics
There was a
Mercy
Reaper.
is
sold.
looking pretty nice. Like you should.
I am. Oh man, I've got to get some of this stuff. But
when it comes to Brick Fair, everybody, just make sure, as our live studio audience has said, beware Wall Guy.
Yep.
Careful. He will be there.
Just
Wall
be
guy
careful,
get
is
you.
a shifty dude.
Wall
He's a
guy is
shifty
always
dude.
Stay away
Shifty
from the
dude.
walls. Try to stay at most in the middle of the convention, because the wall guy usually holds himself by the walls. That's kind of the
Yeah,
best thing.
he'll seep through the walls
Yeah.
and the cracks and
The
everything.
double
so.
He's like
mustache is a
Slender
dead
Man.
giveaway. It's like you're
Yeah.
totally wall
Right,
guy.
you're like it's like you're walking around the convention and it's at night, and then suddenly you're like, is that a Mega Box set? And like your camera goes fuzzy and Wall Guy's right there.
All right.
All right, thank you guys for listening so much to the BrickFeed Podcast. As always, you can catch more episodes of the podcast here on youtube.com/the TTV channel. Click that little bell notification to be alerted every time we do a new video. We have the TTV Podcast, we have Ninjago Cast, we have a lot of other great stuff we do, set reviews, LEGO set reviews coming out, so really it's a lot of cool stuff for you guys to watch and consume. And if you want to talk about this more, go on our message boards at board.tvchannel.com. We'll see you guys later. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Bar.
I'm Eljay.
I'm Ben.
I'm Sex Trooper.
And this was BrickFeed. Goodbye.
Later, everyone.
See you guys. It's been fun. It's been real. See you later. You feel?
I feel.